changes within industries. The dental industry. So the concept behind it is that patients sign up to become users of DentaCoin, and then DentaCoin also requires dentists or local dental practices to sign up to become partners. And instead of the traditional way of mining, the way that coins are mined in DentaCoin is that patients write reviews of the dentist that they see. So the dentist has to be a partner of DentaCoin. And when the patient goes and visits this dentist anywhere around the world, they write a review of this dentist, and that's how they get rewarded with DentaCoin. There's also a mobile app that the patient downloads that that they update with their dental health information, and coin rewards the dentists or the patients for doing well as far as keeping up their hygiene. The less amount of cavities they have, the more DentaCoin they get. Wow. And then they can use that DentaCoin to pay their dentist. So it's kind of like...
Bro, that is killer.
Like
seriously.
Okay.
So that's benefiting the consumer by obviously giving them an incentive to improve their health.
Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that. That's great. So what's
incentivizing the dentist as well to join by rewarding them with coins as well, as far as how many patients write reviews of them, how good the reviews are, and how good their patient's health is.
So I'm sorry to interrupt you. So it's almost like putting the rewards program that's been out there, where they incentivize you for shopping, a loyal customer, and they've been able to say, you know, we can make some money off of this, you know, instead of just...
You know, it's kind of similar to what we were saying earlier. We were talking about Frederick from CV Proof. It incentivizes people to participate because what it does is the data becomes your own. Whereas the data that you're using, for example, on LinkedIn or Facebook, they're making money off your data. But you know, with you putting a review on DentaCoin, you're getting the incentive. Whereas with Yelp or any other platform, they're getting the incentive. So
exactly,
you know, that's a really interesting part of it, is that it's changing it's redistributing the money that's already in those industries. You know, so
interesting. Right. So would you say yeah, go ahead.
A couple more points. The dentist also gets real-time market research. So they get to, the DentaCoin collects all the data that's being input in by the patients and shares it with all the dentists around the world so that they know exactly what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong, what works, what doesn't. So it kind of feeds into the whole, what dental materials should we be using for this procedure, how should we address this problem. It's really going to change the whole market research in dentistry, which is really awesome. And lastly, creates a universal healthcare database. So if a patient comes into my practice that's signed in with DentaCoin or uses DentaCoin, I get to see all of their health history, including their dental history, which is super important for us. When a patient goes and sees a dentist 10 years ago and they put a certain type of crown or a certain type of material in, and they come to see me and they say, you know, I've been having problems with this tooth. Sometimes the patients don't really know exactly what was done, or they can't really elaborate on it, and it's so difficult for us sometimes to really understand what was going on 10 years ago. While this creates a database that we can access that shows everything that's going on from health to dental health, making it so much better and so much easier for us to administer the proper type of health care to our patients.
Wow,
that's awesome, man.
That's amazing, and yeah, that makes complete sense. I mean, if I'm, you know, 8, 9, 10, I have something, a crown or something in my tooth, I'm not going to be able to tell you that at 25 years old what happened to me 15 years ago, you know?
Yep.
Do you think it's going to work with, you know, doctors and different kinds of medical fields as well, or is it more centralized towards dentists?
I think it absolutely can work with healthcare in general. I think the problem is right now, in the United States, there is only one dental practice in the entire country that's accepting it, and they're in New York, and this just happened within the past week.
Yeah,
so that's kind of what spurred my attention to it. But it's really, the main thing is about getting practitioners to sign on with it and helping us understand what is the benefit to us? Which there's obviously a lot.
Big campaign.
What I wanted to ask you is about the benefit. Do you think potentially long term it could actually lower the cost of
Healthcare?
Healthcare, yeah.
I mean, healthcare as a whole?
Absolutely.
You think so?
You think it could? Like, if enough people participate and it reaches a critical mass, it would not only change it, but reduce the cost. That's amazing, man.
Yeah. I mean, look at this.
If you're bringing in a stable income into the healthcare industry, and the money is staying within the healthcare industry, that's the big thing. Because right now, using regular currency, money comes in and then goes out of healthcare. But with the DentaCoin, it stays within healthcare, and it completely eliminates insurance companies.
Well,
and as you all know,
yeah.
third-party insurance companies are the real problem with healthcare these days.
Get your shields, guys.
So let me just pull up DentaCoin real quick. We could take a look at kind of the numbers, what it's trading at currently. Just a second here. So it's currently at not even a penny.
Wow.
It's 0.002. So
and it's recently dropped as well. So it's a great time to buy.
Oh
it's
yeah, everything.
0.3 of a penny right now. It looks like it's had a sharp decline here in the last week, just like everything else, man. This last week has been pretty.
It's just good drops. It's just a good time.
I'm not so sure if it's a correction or not. I don't think I honestly know enough to spot it or whether it is, but it seems like it is. I mean, it seems like it seems like a prolonged thing.
You say correction, right?
But I really
say correction. Like, so corrections in the stock market, we know why they happen, right? Or do
because these are overvalued
or undervalued,
right? So with this, the same rules apply with cryptocurrency.
Well, I mean, I would imagine, but I think what's different about cryptocurrency and why it's a lot more volatile is it's so speculative. Is that there's no proof for a lot of these things yet. There's not a lot of uses for a lot of these things yet. Like so many of these projects are very much in their early stages. So when Power Ledger takes off and actually starts, which brings me to what I wanted to the coin I wanted to bring up actually. It's IOTA.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You have not talked about your coin.
And IOTA actually, one of the reasons I like it is because there is proof that it actually could function. Over $1 billion of transactions have already taken place on their network. So it's being used, it's there, and I was very interested in IOTA for multiple reasons. But one of them was the fact that it's actually being used right now. And by 2020, they estimate that it's going to grow. And you know what? Let me tell you kind of what it's about.
Yeah. What is it exactly?
So, unless Sam, you had anything more to add about DentaCoin?
No.
Okay.
One thing I didn't want to say about DentaCoin. I mean, this, This is a really interesting coin, and it's such a cheap price right now that it's kind of like, take a little risk if you want and just see where it goes. Because at that price, I don't think we've heard of anything recently that has gotten that seem like it could be working in the future, and it's still at a cheap price like that.
Yeah, I wonder what exchanges it's on. Sam, you bought it on HitBTC, right?
HitBTC, correct. It's on HitBTC and Binance. Let's see, it's on their website. You can pull it up and see exactly what exchanges.
Now, what was your experience with HitBTC?
You're the.
It doesn't load real time. It loses coins constantly. I've never had an issue of it being lost for good.
Oh my
God. Talking with their customer support, they would put it back up again.
Yeah,
it's
I know
just
we
been
had
a pain in the rear when I'm looking to switch over.
We're hoping to set that up on day one, and we had issues since day one. Just very delayed and things like that.
It's a shame. A lot of these coins are the interesting ones. Sometimes you have to go to these the dark corners of the internet to get them, like HitBTC. And I remember I wanted to buy a coin called Electra. Right, it was something that interested me, and you had to go to this place called Coins Markets, which has been down for about 10 days.
Wow.
I bought the coin. I bought some of it. a day or so later, it goes down, and they're saying we're getting new servers and all that. We're migrating the servers, and I understand a lot of the exchanges have been overloaded recently because there's so much interest in coins, a lot more than they expected. They weren't ready for it.
No,
but it's still a little sketchy. It's a little sketchy, so you got to be careful where you buy stuff at. It's like, I don't know. It almost feels like you're going down a dark alley when you're trying to find some drugs. Hey, you got some coin, bro.
Yeah, but how?
Hit BTC, bro.
Yeah. No, you're right.
You might get stabbed, bro.
You might get stabbed.
So just be careful.
I mean, it's a possibility, but dude, you're so right.
You gotta be careful where you buy because these guys could shut down their website. It's happened, and go away with your money.
Those of you with weak knees or knee replacements.
Yeah, I mean, Binance, Cryptopia until they close. Two of their tradings.
Binance I think has been trustworthy so far, but
I've dealt with Bittrex. It's pretty good too. It's one of those ones that are like real time and things like that.
The important thing: do your own research.
Can't emphasize that enough.
No matter what you're doing, whether it's talking about buying a coin, whether it's using an exchange, this is all kind of relatively new. So you want to make sure that you're.
All that extra research will definitely help. I mean, I can say that I've dealt with Binance with no issues and Cryptopia, but I mean, with all those other tens of exchanges I've seen on CoinMarketCap, I have not dealt with that personally.
No.
So I wouldn't know.
Let me quickly tell you about IOTA because we're 11 minutes from the end of the show here. So IOTA, I really, really like IOTA. Okay, there's several reasons. First, it's feeless. It's 100% no fees. And the reason they can do that is because they have a different kind of network. It's not the blockchain. It's called the Tangle. And basically, it's much more spread out as far as the validation of the transactions. The people that, or not the people, the ones issuing the transaction, the entity, whether it's an autonomous machine or what have you, issuing the transaction and the other side receiving it, they're doing the validating as well. You're also validating transactions. So there is no mining, there is no fee for the transfer. So the fact that it's so efficient and the fact that there's no fees means it's very precise. That lends itself to be used by a lot of autonomous machines. Like I was saying, over $1 billion of transactions have already been done on their network. By 2020, they estimate that 20 billion machines will be connected to their network. And imagine, they're ordering supplies for their factories. They're ordering, this thing to be shipped there by drone. I mean, imagine, it's like applying the Internet of Things, which is a concept that basically appliances and other things are connected to the internet. But it's applying that to transactions that just don't involve human input.
They're seamless.
Yeah, completely seamless. So precise because there's no fees.
They're clean. They're clean.
So get this. By 2020, they say there will be 20 billion machines connected to their network.
Wow.
By 2025, it goes up to 75 billion machines.
And
those are their, that's their forecast.
And you said this is it's not being mined. Is this a limited supply? Is any more being created?
I believe they've come out with all the supplies all out there. It's actually 270. I could be wrong on the number, but it's a very large amount. Billions, trillions, and then it's quadrillions, right? So it's 270-ish quadrillion coins. Now, when you're buying it on the exchange, which it's on Binance and other places, and it's about $3.50 right now. We can look up. But you're buying an M IOTA, which is a million IOTA. There's so many IOTA that you're not just buying them one at a time. You're buying them a million at a time. So I realized, in my mind, I thought I had, X amount, but I've got millions of those motherfuckers. So I'm sitting on millions of IOTA right now, Playboy. So let me show you something. When you go to CoinMarketCap here, we're still on Dentacoin, but if you look up IOTA, it's M IOTA. So you're buying a million. It's a mega IOTA at a time. So it's currently $3.74. It's been floating around here to $4 and back down to $3.50, kind of in that area for a little while. Like I said, my portfolio is down currently, but I'm not stressing it out. I'm in it for the long haul.
I think it went last week.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, you had Buffett talking crap, right? Yeah. I mean, he wasn't really talking crap. He was just speaking his mind, right?
He was saying we should be more cautious.
Huh?
It was definitely misguided headlines. People read what he was saying. He was not attacking at all.
Yeah,
you got Kodak though announcing, hey, we're interested in this whole Bitcoin market.
Right.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Remember Kodak?
Yeah. Honestly, Kodak announced they have a project called Kodak Coin, and it's a digital currency project, and their stock immediately doubled.
Really?
Immediately.
That's unreal.
Wow.
Same day.
Same day.
Yeah.
That's
just
crazy how
doubled
much
from
they're using that.
that morning.
But I mean, even if you go on Binance right now, almost every coin is down, and that's not a bad thing. It just means when you're, I mean, you buy low. If you're ready to invest, you really want to do a little more research and dive in now. It's the perfect time. Tron was at 30 cents just a couple of weeks ago. It's down to 8 cents.
Yeah.
You know, all these things are happening right now, and they're gonna.
I still
go
don't know
back
what
up.
Tron is. Does anybody?
Tron? I watched
figure
the
it out?
movie.
You watched the movie? Yeah.
Tron.
Honestly, I definitely got to put more time into learning
Yeah, me too,
what certain coins are, but the ones that I've looked into so far that we've talked about on the show have been interesting. Linda Coin had a good week, though.
Linda Coin had a great
Linda
week.
We
Coin
talked
is-
about Linda
Good
Coin
job,
last
Mo.
week. Yeah.
It went up to $1 and
Thank you.
not $1, a cent. If it went up to $1.
Yeah.
So Bitcoin dropped to. Remember when Bitcoin almost broke 13?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was-
Well, it almost.
I was like, is it gonna get to 12? Is it gonna
Yeah.
get to 12?
Yeah, I think it did actually briefly. Yeah.
Did it really?
Yeah, but very briefly. I remember in December at one point it was like 11,000 something.
So do
But
any
very
of you,
briefly.
so why does that happen? Why did it drop from 17 all the way back, and then we have the hope that it's gonna just
Yeah. You know, I wish I could tell you.
Oh,
I
boy.
think
I think we know
it
the
could
answer.
be a number of things. You know,
Speculation.
yeah, I think people are just getting over the hype, and the people who
Okay.
who were just in it for the hype are out, and now it's the people who
Are serious.
more or less believe in it. I
So,
think
so we're shaking those.
we're shaking them
those
off.
fakers
That's
out.
yeah,
I think
Okay.
the popularity
Yeah.
of altcoins definitely has something to do with it as well.
The what?
The altcoin popularity going up and things like that.
yeah.
Okay.
But everything kind of went down this week.
Yeah.
You know, so it's hard to say. Not everything, but I would say, you know, I mean, for my portfolio, I would say 70 to 75% are down, and about a quarter of them are up. The ones that are up, it's interesting. I'm trying to figure out why those are and versus everything else.
Yeah,
But it's all
Ethereum,
supply and demand, man.
Ethereum's that one coin, one that's still on Coinbase, GDAX, and it's been slowly and steadily climbing. It hasn't really seen, rises and
Right.
drops like Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Bitcoin. It's just been slowly steadying.
Yeah.
And, last
Yeah.
month it was.
And if you guys had a coin that
700.
did good, or you guys have some input, call in.
Oh,
Definitely,
yeah, we
definitely
actually-
give us a shout
we
out.
could really be,
Yeah.
we're gonna. I don't want to cover.
No, that's for sure. If you have a good one, man. Or,
Yeah, we certainly can still take phone calls. We have 5 minutes left in the show if anybody wants to call in. But other than that, I think it's the time to hold.
I mean, we say that because it went down.
Right.
If
But
it was
it's-
going up or it was steady, we're
Yeah.
like, okay, buy on this,
Yeah.
right? I just think we just have to act as normal.
Right.
Continue to invest in the companies that you like and see the future in, right? And that's what makes it fun, man. That's what gets you through these little dry spells, I think.
You're absolutely right. I mean, it's happened before. We've seen coins drop
Yeah.
that we've had, and we're just like, oh wow, maybe we should sell it or something like that. But then it goes right back up, and you just have to be patient. That's the number one thing. You have to be patient. You can't drop it when it's going down because you think it's going to go lower. You can't start buying when you see it at its highest price just because you think it's going to go higher.
Right.
You
You just
have
got
be
to buy
patient.
coins that you believe in and just hold them long term. And that's our philosophy anyway. We're all long term investors. So
Yeah. But now's the time to buy. Look into what you like and
yeah, it's
start
true.
investing.
Yeah, they say
Everything
buy
is low
dips.
right now. Buy low, sell high.
For sure. One of the interesting things, though, one of the news items we're going to bring up was the partnership between Ripple and MoneyGram. MoneyGram is going to start using Ripple for international transfers, obviously to cut down on their cost and cut down on the time for those transfers. So, we're seeing more and more uses of the digital currencies become, it's going to proliferate throughout our culture, I think. And we're going to start seeing it more and more. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if, services, goods, and companies that we know every day that we use often, like Amazon and Uber and others,
Amazon owning.
start accepting those currencies. I could say we could see that this year. I think so. We're going to start seeing more and more use cases of things.
And do you have you guys looked into any specific coin and seeing like kind of whales? I know that on Tron they're setting up. There's just been a lot of speculation. My friend bought a lot of Tron, and they have a lot of sell walls, and it's just these people who put a lot of money in the coin, and they just kind of try to control the price. And
so how exactly do they do that? They want to sell a massive amount at a time?
Yeah, depending, if they want it, the price to drop or rise. But if you have, millions of dollars or something like that, and you want to keep Tron low, you can put a sell order at 8 cents, and anyone who wants to sell at 9, 10, 11, they're never going to be able to get past that wall.
I see.
Because there's going to be so much on a sale.
Interesting.
At a lower price than what they have.
I've seen the term sell wall, but it never clicked for me. That's what it was. That's very interesting.
And that's where you have that depth wall. When you look at an exchange, and it kind of, instead of telling you the numbers or the graph, you kind of have like a red or a green, which is the buy and sell, and whichever one's higher, that has a larger sell order. And once you get past that wall, that's when you can start selling at a higher price or buying, and vice versa.
Now, the thing that happened with Bitcoin, I think that was this week, right? Where there was just a massive amount of sell orders for Patcoin. Okay, Patcoin was worth 1 Satoshi. Did we talk about this last week? Or
yeah.
Did we?
I believe so.
Patcoin was worth 1 Satoshi, and people were buying it, and they were just waiting for it to go up to 2, because 1 Satoshi is the lowest amount. Yeah. And then it doubled, and people sold. But then what happened was there was a massive amount of sell orders and literally 0 buy orders for it on Cryptopia. So, something is only worth what someone else is willing to pay
exactly,
for it.
Because when that happened and those people would buy it for 1 and sell it for 2, it ended up being the one. Anyone who did put in an order for 1, it's automatically processed and that's gone. There was just millions and millions.
So the price can literally never go above what that wall is because until they get through selling that many. So it's interesting how people manipulate the currencies like that. So there's unfortunately there's people whose motivation is to keep the prices low so they can just keep buying more, right? I mean that's what they're trying to do.
That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to buy at a low price, and whenever they want to stop manipulating the price and make their money, they'll be able to do that by taking out whatever wall they have in there. The price goes up, they sell it, and you're going to hear about this more and more because it's happening more and more with a lot of altcoins that really there might be dead coins, make no sense, and next thing you know the price skyrockets. And what's the reasoning behind it? Just whales trying to make money off manipulating the prices.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's going to go away the more people buy into the system. You're going to see those whales becoming less and less influential on the prices.
Oh, 100%. I agree.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
You're going to get to the point where the market's just so high that there could be whales, but it's not going to be as effective.
Right.
And they're not going to be able
and
to
listen, Frederick said it earlier. He said, we're very early in this.
Right.
So that's also a common theme. I'm just happy to be here. And seriously, and be able to share this with you guys and share it with whoever's listening, because this is early, guys. This is exciting. I mean, 10 years down the road, we're gonna look back and be like, oh, remember when? And I really do believe that. But that concludes our show today.
I think so. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Guys, thanks again. It's always good to be with you guys, and
definitely. It's always fun.
Always a really great learning experience. I definitely learned a lot this week. Thank you to Frederick Varon, COO
thanks, Fred.
and co-founder of CV Proof. Check out cvproof.com. They have an ICO going on right now. If you want to get involved,
50% off.
Do some research into it, and hit us up on Twitter if you're interested. If you have any questions about,
really to follow that.
It'll be cool.
Back into it.
Track its progress.
All right,
thanks again, guys. Take care. Everyone have a good week.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Bye.